Well, enjoying your summer in beautiful northern Wisconsin, or you're out and about today celebrating the 4th of July, we want you to stay safe.
So here to give us some red, white, and blue safety tips is Nurse Christina Paris. Thanks for joining us this morning, Christina.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Happy 4th.
Yes, happy 4th.
Absolutely. And when I think of red burns, I think of burns that comes to mind. So can you tell us about burns and give us maybe a few tips if people are playing with fireworks and they get a little too close today?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about burns, we talk about them. It used to be 1st, 2nd, and 3rd degree burns. We now call them superficial, partial thickness, full thickness. So it just depends on the layers of skin that get affected. And like you said, you know, people will be roasting marshmallows. Kids might, my nephew one year accidentally fell into our fire. The fire was gone, but there were holes there. Burned his hand. So things happen, fireworks, you want to be really careful. But you want to go and seek medical attention if it involves your hands, your face, or your feet, or any of your sensitive areas, you know. And then if it goes all the way around a body part, so if you spill like hot water or something and it goes all the way around your arm or your hand, you want to go in. If it's bigger than 3 inches across. So the big thing, or if you develop a fever. So yeah, the big things you want to do is make sure you clean off the burn. We want to stop the burn. So you want to clean it, cool it, and then prevent infection. That's the biggest thing we watch for, and treat any kind of pain. But again, anytime you have questions or concerns, go and seek medical attention. They're ready for you this weekend.
And what kind of temperature should the water be if you have a burn and you're like putting that on that burn? Should it be cold or should it be like kind of room temperature? So that's
a good question. So you do want cool, but you don't want ice. Ice can actually damage your tissue, so we don't want to do further tissue damage. And hypothermia, believe it or not, is something we get concerned about when we think of burns, especially if you get a lot of burns. Your body, that's how your body cools and heats itself, is through your skin. So if we damage the skin, it can affect that as well.
Interesting. And then now moving on to the color white, that could be representative of gauze or bandages. So you tell us a bit about something that can go with like some tips on treating minor cuts and
scrapes. Absolutely. So the big thing, wash your hands before you're going to touch anybody's cut or wound. We want to stop the bleeding. If it's really thick and there's a lot of bleeding, you want to make sure you stop it. Clean it. Apply antibiotic ointment like bacitracin, Neosporin, things like that you can put on your wounds. Change the dressing at least daily. Make sure you have you're up to date with your shots, with your tetanus shot, and watch for warning signs of infection such as redness, increased pain, any kind of drainage if the area that you cut is warm. And anytime you see a large gap, it seems really deep, it won't stop bleeding. If you're on a blood thinner, really watch for that. You might have to go in even for something that might be a minor cut to someone like you or me. If you're having trouble moving that extremity that's lower or farther away from the cut, if you see any muscle, bone, tissue, you know, it goes deep, you want to go into the ER. You probably are going to need some kind of stitches.
That could put a damper on things.
And then if you know, when you're packing your first aid kit, think about things like if you have severe allergies, make sure you have your EpiPen. If you get skin tears real easy, make sure you have roller tape. If you're diabetic, you want to think about maybe glucose tablets. And if you have cardiac disease, maybe keep chewable aspirin in your medical kit.
Very interesting. All right. Well, in thinking about holiday blues, could represent a feeling. How can our viewers avoid feeling blue while celebrating the holidays?
So we could talk about depression, but I'm not going to go there today. But if you are struggling with mental health, I just want you to know you can call the crisis line at 988. They're here. And the VA has a call center. You can call them as well. We're 24/7. But I'm talking hangover, dehydration. So because we're all going to be out and about, so make sure you drink in moderation, especially with this heat. It's going to dehydrate you. And you want to drink plenty of fluids before. Make sure you're eating, you know, hit those brats and hot dog hamburger stands, you know, get a little something in your belly. Make sure you get adequate sleep. So rest up, take a nap today if you need it. And you can always take vitamin supplements like clove extract, B vitamins, things like that. Dehydration, you want to watch for excessive tiredness, confusion, disorientation. If you're feeling dizzy when you stand and you haven't had alcohol, it could be dehydration. If your pulse is like weak or rapid, you want to watch for that, especially with children. Children will become really lethargic and tired when they're dehydrated, so you want to be really careful. And everybody be kind. There's a lot of people out there this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Be proactive, kind of watch. If somebody bumps into you, don't turn around and get mad. Come on, there's a lot of us in a small area, so we just want to be really kind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, staying healthy, being proactive, you know, and taking our time going through the parades and the fireworks festivals.
Yeah.
Lots to do.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to Hoggy Doggies. There was a mix up with our order, and they graciously replaced it. I know, and like I said, people can get angry easy, and they didn't. It was, we were fortunate. So.
Yes, some very good reminders
Yes.
today for everyone on the holidays. Thank you so much for coming in today. Yeah. And coming up, we have What's Trending, including kinds of